You say you want peace. You say you want to control your emotions. Yet every time life presses a little harder, you break. Every time someone disrespects you, you react. Every time you fail, you collapse into self-doubt. And then you ask yourself, why can't I control my emotions? The truth is simple, but brutal. You don't fail to control your emotions because you're weak. You fail because you've been trained your whole life to obey them. From childhood, you were told to express how you feel, but never how to master what you feel. You were taught that emotions define your truth, when in reality they only reveal your conditioning. That's the trap. Most people don't think. They just feel and call it thinking. And as long as your emotions are in charge, you are not free. You are a puppet pulled by invisible strings, anger, envy, pride, fear, all whispering, react now. Don't think. Just feel. But the Stoics, they knew the secret. They didn't destroy emotion, they understood it. They knew that between stimulus and response, there's a small, sacred space, a moment where choice is born. That space is your power. That space is your peace. And that's where you fail, because you never pause long enough to claim it. When Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, he was surrounded by betrayal, war, death, and deceit. Yet in his private writings, he never once complained about what he couldn't control. Instead, he studied his reactions. He wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." That's the foundation of emotional mastery. Understanding that nothing has power over you unless you give it meaning. When someone insults you, it's not their words that cut. It's your interpretation. When life disappoints you, it's not fate that hurts. It's your attachment to how things should have been. You fail to control your emotions because you keep trying to control the world. But Stoicism flips that mirror. It says, control yourself, and the world loses its power. You've been trying to calm the storm outside, but the real storm has always been inside. Your emotions aren't enemies, they're signals. But you treat every feeling like an emergency. You panic when you should observe. You explode when you should analyze. You run from discomfort instead of asking what it's trying to teach you. The Stoic doesn't run. He watches. He lets the emotion rise, watches it burn, and then lets it pass, without becoming it. That's mastery. Every emotional reaction has a root. Anger comes from expectation. Fear comes from attachment. Envy comes from comparison. And sadness comes from resistance to what is. The Stoic sees this clearly. He doesn't try to kill his emotions. He tries to understand their architecture. When he's angry, he asks, "What expectation of mine just broke?" When he's afraid, he asks, "What am I attached to that I fear losing?" When he's jealous, he asks, "Why do I think someone else's success takes away from mine?" And when he's sad, he asks, "Why am I rejecting reality as it is?" These questions dismantle emotions' control. But you don't question, you react. You feed emotion with attention until it consumes you. You scroll, you shout, you distract, you run. And then you wonder why your peace feels so fragile. It's because peace cannot survive in the mind of someone who refuses to sit with discomfort. You fail to control your emotions because you still think emotions are problems. But they're not. They're data. They're messages from your mind to your soul. And if you listen with discipline instead of panic, they'll show you exactly where you need to grow. The reason Stoics appeared calm wasn't because they didn't feel. It's because they trained themselves daily to separate feeling from reaction. Epictetus was once a slave. He was beaten, insulted, humiliated. But he learned the ultimate form of freedom: emotional independence. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about that. You can be rich, successful, admired, but if you're triggered by every opinion, enslaved by every mood, you're still in chains. Control isn't found in suppressing emotion, it's found in not letting emotion steer your behavior. A Stoic doesn't suppress his feelings, he just refuses to let them decide his actions. That's why you fail. You've confused emotional honesty with emotional control. You think being real means saying whatever you feel in the moment, but that's not authenticity. That's impulsiveness. Real strength is silent. Real mastery doesn't need to announce itself. The calm man is always the most dangerous, because nothing controls him. He acts from principle, not pressure. Imagine this. Someone insults you publicly. Your blood heats, your chest tightens, and your ego screams to respond. But then you remember, this person only controls your peace if you allow them to. You breathe, you smile, you walk away. To the crowd, it looks like you lost. But inside, you won the greatest victory a man can win. The victory over himself. That's what Stoicism is really about. Not emotionlessness, but emotional sovereignty. You stop being a slave to every external event. You start living as the master of your own reactions. And here's the deeper truth. Emotion itself is not the problem. Attachment is. You suffer not because things happen, but because you believe they shouldn't. You create expectations of people, outcomes, timing, and when life doesn't obey your script, you crumble. The Stoic writes no script, he expects nothing, accepts everything, and still gives his best. That's how he wins. That's how you can, too. Every morning, the Stoic reminds himself, "Today I will meet arrogance, jealousy, anger, and ignorance." Why? Because he knows the battlefield before stepping into it. You, on the other hand, expect peace from a chaotic world. And that's why you're always shocked when it disappoints you. You can't control emotions you don't prepare for. Life will not get easier. People will still test you. Loss will still come. Pain will still visit, but when you accept that, when you stop expecting life to comfort you, emotions lose their bite. The Stoic doesn't beg for an easier path. He builds a stronger mind. And that's what you must do. Train your mind daily, like a warrior sharpens his blade. Every reaction you resist adds a layer of armor. Every emotion you understand instead of obey adds another weapon to your arsenal. That's how peace is earned, not found, not gifted, but forged. You fail to control your emotions because you don't train for it. You go to the gym to train your body but leave your mind unguarded. You study success, wealth, relationships, but not silence, patience, or discipline. The mind, untrained, is a battlefield. The Stoic trains every day, through reflection, through meditation, through the art of slowing down. He rewires his brain to pause before reacting, to question before judging, to accept before resisting. It's not magic, it's repetition. Just like muscle, control grows with practice. You start small. Pause before replying. Breathe before deciding. Observe before feeling. Over time, something extraordinary happens. Life stops controlling you. You stop getting offended so easily. You stop panicking over the unknown. You stop chasing validation. You begin to live from your center, not from chaos. That's what emotional mastery feels like. Not numbness, but power. And if you truly want to change, start here. Stop saying, "I can't control my emotions." Start saying, "I haven't learned to yet." Because mastery isn't born, it's built. You build it every day through self-awareness, through failure, through patience. There will be days you lose control, and that's okay. The Stoic doesn't chase perfection, he chases awareness. Each slip teaches you where the weakness still lives. Each regret refines your understanding. The only true failure is refusing to learn. You are not meant to be ruled by what you feel. You are meant to rise above it. Life is not testing your emotions. It's testing your discipline. And until you understand that, peace will always be temporary. So, the next time emotion floods your chest, pause. The next time anger burns, observe. The next time sadness whispers, listen, but don't kneel. Remember, emotions are visitors. They come. They teach. They leave. Don't serve them tea. Don't build them a home. Let them pass and keep walking, because mastery doesn't mean never feeling. It means never being owned by feeling. That's the Stoic truth. You don't need a new life. You need a new response. You don't need to feel less. You need to understand more. And the day you finally do, you'll realize that peace wasn't something to be found. It was something to be chosen.